First of two 7th grade games back to back. It's Jeremy Scott getting ready for this one between All Ohio and the Ohio Valley Sting. Kayla Cazell running the camera, and we are all set to go here at the Big Red Classic. The ball is up in the air, and it's controlled by the Sting. That is over to Guthrie. There's a quick three-point look. That's up, and that will not fall for Potts. And it is rebounded by Dittmar. Dittmar's got it, and she passes it back to Guthrie. Guthrie. Back to Dittmar down low. And she has that ball blocked away from her and stolen. Still taken away by All Ohio. Ohio's got it. All Ohio's got it. That's Simone. Over to Molly. Molly on the drive. She jump stops. Down underneath. There to clean it up. That's no good. And that is Demaya. As there is a jump ball, and that will favor All Ohio. That'll be Molly to inbound. Molly puts it up. That is good. And that's a 2-point bucket for Molly. And All Ohio gets the first bucket of the ball game. It's 2-0. On the other end, Levy giving off to Potts. Back to Levy. That shot up. That shot no good. Taken back by All Ohio. That is Kenna. Kenna on the drive. Kenna down low to Demaya. As the teams stack up on this inbounds pass, it'll be Simone to do the inbounding here for All Ohio. And into the low post, she does inbound it. There's a shot that's up. That doesn't fall. And that goes out of bounds. Inbounds it comes again. Turn around and take the shot, and that was partially blocked. That was Denia there. And she was not able to make it happen as it's taken back by Kenna. Kenna gets it back for All Ohio. That's to Molly. Over to Simone. Simone on the drive. Simone on the shot. No good. And that's Molly. Back to Simone. Simone on the drive. Simone on the shot. That doesn't fall, but that will be a foul on the Sting. And I think they got Potts with that one. So that's the first team foul on either side. As the teams stack up, and there's a substitution. That's Cheatham coming in for Ohio Valley Sting. And coming out will be Cohen. That'll be Molly to reset everything here for All Ohio. Inside to Kenna. She puts it up. That's no good, and that was partially blocked, so say the referees, and so it'll stay at that end. It'll still be All Ohio ball. It's Kenna. Kenna, back to Molly. Over to Simone. Simone, back to Molly. Molly shouting out some instructions, directing some traffic. Molly going to drive it and have it knocked away from her, and it's Simone who ends up with it. And ends up back in Molly's hands to Kenna. Kenna down low. She had it stripped away from her on the drive, and out of bounds it goes, and it will remain All Ohio ball. And it'll be Kayla checking in, and it'll be Demila to check out. That's Kayla. Over to Kenna. Kenna had that one partially blocked, and out of bounds it goes, and it'll remain All Ohio ball. OV Sting doing a good job of getting their hands up on these shots and making it hard for All Ohio to get a clean shot at the bucket. Turning around, taking the shot. There it is again. That swarming defense of the Sting, and finally a foul is called. That is Simone, who turned around, took the shot, got fouled on her way up, so Simone will go to the free throw line, and she will attempt a pair here. And we're 2.5 minutes gone by here in the first half. That's Simone at the line. First shot for Simone is good. Simone back at the line. is no good, and that's pulled down by Ditmar. Potts on the drive. Potts on the pass. The shot is up. That's no good. And that's going to go out of bounds, and it will come back to All Ohio, who leads it by 3. It's 3-0, All Ohio over the OV Sting. Really quickly, how about a shout out to the people on the administrative end? Caleb Graham, as well as Luke Hutchison, Jeff Ferguson, and John Ferguson. Jeff, not with us today, resting back at home. But we appreciate, of course, his efforts with not just this tournament, but all the GBA tournaments. As 3 substitutions get set to check in here for the Sting. As there's a shot, that's up, and that is no good. And that's rebounded on the offensive glass. That's up, no good for Kayla. Out of bounds it goes. And it's going to be Sting ball here, and here come the substitutions. 14, 1, and 4 for the OV Sting. Cohen, Knapp, and Hernandez, respectively, as Guthrie. And Cheatham and Potts will all check out. Levy playing the point. She's guarded by Simone. Over to Hernandez. Hernandez with a shot. It's no good. And that's rebounded by All Ohio. That's Denaya. And she is fouled on her way up. And so that's a foul on Guthrie. That's the 3rd Sting foul. And so Denaya is going to go to the free throw line, and she will now shoot 2. Denaya not able to get the first to go. Second shot for Denaya is good, so 1 of 2 at the line there. It's 4-0, All Ohio. As Jayla checks back in. And that's Levy playing the point here for the Sting. Knapp over to Hernandez. Back to Levy. Levy on the drive, Levy on the shot. The shot banks in there. It's good. And the Sting get their first 2 of the ball game, courtesy of Levy. It's 4-2. Molly playing the point. In the lane, kicking it out. That is Jayla. Jayla on the drive. Nice move by her. Puts it up and in. Jayla for 2. It's 6-2. Levy. Crossover. Outside to Knapp. That was a 3-point attempt, and that goes out of bounds. And before any Sting player could save it, it hit that boundary line, and so it will come back to All Ohio as 2 substitutions are in the game for the Sting now. Guthrie, as well as Potts, sitting Hernandez and Knapp. That's Molly. On the drive, and they wave off the bucket. They say the foul occurred before the drive. That's the 4th Sting foul. Inbounds it comes. On the baseline, that's Molly on the shot that doesn't fall. And the jump ball. But I tell you what, a lot of hustle down there, a lot of muscle too. And the possession arrow favors All Ohio as Cheatham comes back in for the Sting, and Ditmar will take a seat. Inbounded to Jayla. And that's going to be knocked off of her foot and out of bounds. And it comes back to the Sting on offense now. Levy to Guthrie. Levy falls down with it, and then it's stolen away by Jayla. Jayla's going to push it to the other end. Jayla on the drive. Jayla gets bumped pretty hard on her way up to the bucket. Got bumped pretty hard by Cohen. That's the 15th foul on the Sting, but it doesn't matter because Jayla was clearly in the act of shooting. She will go to the free throw line for 2. First shot for Jayla is good. Jayla back at the line. Jayla's shot is good. And the score 8-2. It's Levy. Pass over to Guthrie. Guthrie has the ball stolen away from her, but before the steal, they say, oh no. Everybody was looking at the wrong court as Jayla drives it and gets bumped, and that's off of the Sting. Yeah, everybody heard a whistle. They thought it came from this court. Everybody was turning around looking at the other court. They said, what are you doing? Play on. And that's why there was that little hesitation there as All Ohio inbounds it. That's to Jayla. Jayla gets fouled on her way up. Jayla's going to go back to the free throw line where she is 2 of 2. And she will have a chance to add to the 6-point All Ohio lead. Jayla puts up the first, and this one is no good. As Hernandez gets ready to check back in here for the Sting. Jayla's second shot is no good, and it's a scramble for that loose ball. And they're going to say it was off the white jersey, so it's going to come back to the Sting. That's Guthrie. And that's a foul on Simone. I heard him say 14 white. That would be Simone. That's the first team foul on All Ohio. It's Potts driving it, putting it up, getting fouled on her way up, and Potts will go to the free throw line. And she will be shooting 2. First shot for Potts, banks in. 8-3 the score. As Kenna and Demila check back in for All Ohio, Kayla and Denia sit. Second shot for Potts, not able to get that one to go. And it's chased down by Ditmar. Good job by her. There's a wide open look. That will not fall for the Sting. That just kind of sat up there forever. It could have gone either way. One of those 50-50 balls. And hitting the deck with the ball was Demila, and she moved with the ball in her hand, and so she is going to be called for the travel, and back it comes to the Sting as Hernandez inbounds it to Ditmar. Ditmar has it stripped away from her, and that's Simone with it. Simone pushing it up ahead now for All Ohio. Simone pulls it back out to Molly. Hernandez comes over to guard her. Into the lane, puts it up. That's no good. Gets her own rebound, and she's tied up. And it's going to come back to the Sting. Eight to 3, All Ohio leads the OB Sting. That's Potts. Potts getting it over to Guthrie. She's got Molly on her. Gets a pick from Hernandez. And the shot doesn't go, and that's pulled down by Simone. Simone's going to push it to the other end. She's got a couple of pursuers, and that hits the backboard, and then there's a loose ball. And it's coming our way, and they're going to say that's off of the Sting. I think they're going to say it went off of Hernandez's foot. And so Jayla will inbound it. And Molly will play the point. Molly into the lane. Kicks it out. That's Simone. Back to Jayla. Jayla, a little bounce pass over to Demila. Demila looking for somebody to pass it to. Back it comes to Molly. Molly up at the top, into the paint, and she has that ball deflected out of bounds, and it will remain at that end. That was knocked out of bounds by Cohen as Denia comes back in for All Ohio, and Demila sits. So Denia in, Demila out. And that's Molly. Into the paint. That's Denia. She puts it up and in there. And it's a 10-3 score. All Ohio over the Sting by 7. Guthrie at the point. She was looking for Ditmar and it went off of a player from All Ohio, so out of bounds it will go, and it will be the OV Sting ball after this timeout that's called by the Sting sideline. 6:08 to play here in the first half. The score, All Ohio 10, the OV Sting 3. (10-3) the score. OV Sting called that timeout. Out of the timeout, they come attacking the bucket on the baseline, kicking it outside. That is Cohen. And she'll be called for a double dribble. I do believe that was the call. Now look at that field general, Molly, over there. She is just calling out the play and directing traffic like a master. Kicking it outside. That's Jayla. Bounce pass into the low post. Putting it up, backing her way in there was Denia. She put it up, missed the shot, and ended up in a jump ball situation. And the possession arrow favors All Ohio as Knapp checks back in for the Sting. And Hernandez will check out. Inbounds it comes to Jayla. Jayla drives. She has the ball knocked away from her, and that's going to be a foul on Ditmar. And Jayla is 2 of 4 from the line, and she's going to go back to the line now. So Jayla at the line, able to connect on the front end of this 2-shot situation. As Cheatham checks in, and that'll be Cohen to check out. As Jayla's second shot is no good, so 1 of 2 from the line for Jayla that trip. And it's Ohio Valley Sting's ball. Guthrie. And she loses it out of bounds, and back it goes to All Ohio. We've got Ashton checking in for All Ohio, and taking a seat will be Kenna. And behind her back, that was a nice pass by Kayla. And that's Jayla, put it up and in for 2. Jayla for 2 more, makes it 13-3. It's a 10-point lead, the largest lead of the ball game for All Ohio. Jayla right now has 7 points. That's Potts. Potts on the drive, Potts on the shot, that's no good. And out of bounds it goes. And that was off of the Sting. And it will be all Ohio ball here. We're at 4.5 to play here in the first half. 13-3 the score. All Ohio with the 10-point lead over the Sting. And that's Molly playing the point. Molly, little kick out to Ashton. Ashton on the shot. It's no good. And that's taken by Knapp. Knapp's got it back here. And she's trying to find her teammate Potts, and just a lot of miscommunication there. Out of bounds it goes, and it's going to come back to All Ohio as Cohen will check back in. And Cheatham will check out. That's Ashton on the inbounds pass. Turning around, taking the shot, and making the shot is Denia. It is 15-3. Snap. Long shot for her, doesn't fall. Rebounded. No good for Ditmar. Out of bounds it goes. And it'll be off of the Sting. All Ohio balls yet again. That's Demila who just checked back in for All Ohio, and Kayla who sits. Molly playing the point. And on the drive, that is Denia. And up with it, and no good. Molly with an offensive putback opportunity, not able to get it to go, and it's Sting's ball. And ball goes out of bounds off of the Sting and back to All Ohio. Into the low post. There's a shot that's up. Count the bucket and the foul. That is Denia, who's now got 7 points with a chance to make it 8 and to increase her team's lead from 14 to 15, depending on what she can do here at the line. Timeout on the floor with 3:18 to play here in the first half. The score, All Ohio 17, the OB Sting 3. Back to the action. That is Denia at the line for an and one. She made the bucket just a second ago, and she misses on the free throw. And Sting back on offense. That's Guthrie. She's picked up by Ashton. Ashton is going to be called for a bump here. Third team foul on All Ohio. So they've got 3. The OB Sting have 7. So it's free throws the rest of this half for All Ohio should they be fouled. Guthrie on the inbounds, and she overshoots her intended target, and it's going to come back to All Ohio. She was looking for Knapp, but it was over her head. And that'll be Levy checking back into the ball game for the Ohio Valley Sting, and that'll be Knapp to sit. Jayla will play the point this possession for All Ohio. Bounce pass into the corner, that's Denia. Over to Ashton. Back to Jayla. There's a shot for 2, and that doesn't fall for Tanae. And that shot no good for Denia, taken by the Sting. Outlet pass, up ahead, that's Levy. Levy to the bucket, Levy up and good for 2. She's got 4 points actually, and it's 17-5. All Ohio. And that is Jayla. Over to Demila. That shot up, and that is no good. As there is a jump ball. And coming out of the timeout, it will be All Ohio ball. 17-5 the score. 2:06 to play in the first half. And there's a quick shot by Jayla. That doesn't fall, and that's rebounded by Denia. Shot up, and she is fouled on her way up, and so Denia will go to the free throw line. At the line today, she is 1 for 3, and that's the 8th team foul, by the way, on the OV Sting.
Her Aunt Fran's in town.
First shot is no good for Denia. Second shot for Denia is no good, and that's pulled down by the Sting. Sting up ahead with it. That's Cohen. So Denia 0 for 2 from the line that trip, and out of bounds it goes, and that's going to be off of All Ohio. And there's a long three-point attempt. That is up and good. That is Guthrie. And the score 17-8. It's a 9-point All Ohio lead now. Turning around, taking the shot, not able to bank it in. There is Denia, and it's rebounded by the Sting. So the Sting back on offense, pushing it down the floor. That's out to Guthrie, who just made that big three-pointer a little bit ago. Guthrie over to Levy. Levy will take a long three-pointer, and she will miss that one. That's an air ball, and out of bounds it comes, and it will go back to All Ohio. .110 and winding on the first half clock. 9-point All Ohio lead. That's Molly. In the lane. Bounce pass to Denia. Denia with a shot. That's no good. And it's going to be saved from going out of bounds by the Sting. Outlet pass up ahead on the baseline. Short corner shot. That is good. That's Levy for 2 more. She's got 6. And the score 17-10. All Ohio leads the Sting, but only by 7 now. And I say only because this lead was well into double digits not that long ago. That's Simone. Simone at the foul line. Simone with a shot. It's no good, and that's rebounded by Ditmar. Sting with it up ahead. That's Cohen. Cohen's going to take it coast to coast, lay it up. That's no good. That's rebounded by Ditmar. Ditmar fouled on her way up, and that's the 4th team foul on All Ohio. So Ditmar will be stepping to the free throw line to see what she can do here. She has not scored yet today, but she'll have an opportunity right here. Ditmar's first shot, no good. As Kenna checks back in here for All Ohio, and for the Sting, it will be Hernandez. Checking out for All Ohio will be Demila, and checking out for the Sting will be Potts. Also, who just checked back in is Cheatham, and sitting for the Sting will be Cohen. So I think we got everybody. Ditmar's second shot is no good. So 0 for 2. That trip to the line. Offensive rebound for Levy. She's got 8 to score, 17-12. It's now down to a 5-point lead. We're at 15 seconds to play here in this first half. Molly over to Jayla, to Denia, down low. She puts it up, and that's no good. And that'll be a foul on the Sting, and that'll be their 9th. And so Denia is going to go to the free throw line. She will attempt to. Denia 1 for 5 at the line. First shot, good. Denia back at the line, puts up the shot and makes the shot. So 2 for 2, that trip to the line. The score 19-12 with 8 seconds to go here in the first half. Can the Sting cut into this lead before the teams huddle up for the half? Hernandez takes it coast to coast, has it blocked. All Ohio back on offense, and they don't get a shot off before the end of the half, but good defense there by them to get their paws up and to block that shot by Hernandez, and that will be how the first half ends. A lot of action here, a lot of scoring. The score 19-12. We'll be back with the second half right here on GBA TV. And back to the action here. It's the second half. 19-12 is the score. Jeremy Scott. That's Guthrie. Baseline shot, that is Levy for 2, no good. Rebounded by All Ohio. Back to the other end. There's a shot, that's up, that's no good for Denia. And Molly has it. Molly over to Simone. Simone down low. That's a shot that's up, that's no good for Denia, and that's chased down by Potts. Potts has it for the Sting. Sting pushing it to the other end, that is Potts. Potts drives a baseline, puts it up, and is fouled. And that's a foul, I do believe, on Molly, and that's the first team foul on either side. That's a shot that's up, that's no good. And there to clean it up and put it back in, that's Potts. And the score 19-14. It is a 5-point lead. Down low, that's Demila. And that'll be a travel. Travel called on All Ohio, so the Sting get it back. They've cut it to a 5-point lead. Don't forget that at one point it was a double-digit lead for All Ohio, but since that time it's been pretty much all OV Sting, and they've cut it all the way down to this 5-point lead, and they have a chance to cut into it even further right here. That'll be Potts. Outside, that's for 3. And that is good. Levy with 11. It's 19-17. Molly over to Denia in the left corner. Driving it, putting it up, and no good. That's Jayla. And All Ohio has seen this lead dwindle. It could see it dwindle even further depending on what the Sting can do on this possession. And Denia not quite able to keep that ball from going out of bounds. And on the loose ball, the jump ball will favor the All Ohio team, so they'll get it back here because the Sting had it to begin this half. So the Sting not quite able to tie it up on that possession or take the lead. As Knapp gets ready to check back in here for the Sting. That's Molly playing the point. She gets it over to Jayla. On the elbow, that's Kenna. Kenna gets fouled. That's the first team foul on the Sting. As Knapp does check back in here for the Sting. And checking out will be Hernandez. Molly will do the inbounding here as the teams stack up. They break the stack, and that is Denia who receives the inbounds pass. That's Jayla being guarded by Levy. That's for 3, and that's going to be short, and it'll be tracked down by the Sting. Up ahead with it. That's over to Levy. Levy down low, puts it up. Tie ball game. It is 19 all. 11 minutes to play here in the second half. Cohen kicking it out. That's for 3, and that's no good. Rebounded by Molly. She'll attempt a 3 of her own. That one is short, and another offensive rebound. Jayla attempts a 3, and that one falls short, and it is Sting ball. So 3 3-point attempts, none of which went in. And the Sting could take the lead here right on this possession. Down low. There to clean it up and put it up and in for 2. That's Cheatham, and it's a 2-point Sting lead, 21-19. With a timeout on the floor. 10:25 to play here in the second half. You're watching this game here on GBA TV. Back to the action here. It is 21-19. The Sting lead All Ohio. And this is after the Sting at one point trailed by double digits, but it's been all Sting since then. They've rallied. That's Molly. Little bounce pass over to Ashton. Ashton drives the baseline, puts it up, and that's an air ball a little bit too strong. And Sting get it back. And that is Guthrie who gets fouled. And that's the second All-Ohio foul this half. And that's Levy. Levy over to Guthrie. Guthrie. And there's a loose ball. And it'll be Sting ball here. So right now the leading scorer for the Sting is Levy. She's got 13. As inbounds it comes, and not able to save it from going out of bounds is Ditmar. And back it comes to All Ohio. Molly being guarded by Levy. On the other end, driving the baseline, putting it up is Simone. That's no good. There to clean it up is Kenna. That's no good. And off the rebound, that was Guthrie, and a couple of All-Ohio players trying to tie her up. No jump ball called, knocked out of bounds, and it will be Sting ball. As Knapp checks back out and Hernandez checks back in. Levy to play the point on this possession here for the Sting. In what's become a very good ball game. Guthrie. Over to Hernandez. Hernandez stops at the elbow, shoots it, and that's short. And that'll be taken by Ashton. Ashton has it now. Ashton pushing it down. Ashton on the shot, no good on the lay-in. And it's rebounded by Cohen. Cohen up ahead with it. Bounce pass over to Hernandez. Hernandez into the lane, and she has it blocked, and she gets it back, puts it back up and in. What a nice play there by Hernandez, 23-19. Four-point Sting lead. Molly over to Simone. Down low, that's Denia. That shot's no good. It was partially blocked, taken back by the Sting. Sting pushing the ball up the floor. That's Cohen. Levy, no good. And down low, there to put up, that's Ditmar with her first bucket of the ball game, 25-19. The Sting lead All Ohio. Molly over to Ashton. Back to Molly. Ashton gets it back. She'll take the shot, and she'll be a little bit too strong on that shot. Denia there to get it. That's over to Simone. Simone on the baseline. Simone into the short corner. Back outside to Molly. Molly with a crossover dribble. Got Levy on her. Over to Simone. Simone. Down low it goes to Denia. Denia puts it up, and Denia no good on the shot. And that is Cohen with it. Cohen's going to take it down. She's going to have it poked away from behind, and I do believe it went off of Cohen. No, it didn't even go out of bounds. That's Levy with the shot. That's no good, and that'll be rebounded by Simone. So All Ohio back on offense. Down by 6. Ashton taking it, putting it up. That's short. That's taken by Guthrie. Hernandez up ahead. Levy with a shot. Levy good. And was she fouled? Yes, they are going to say count the bucket, and Levy will have a chance to go to the free throw line and add one more to this. 27-19. It's an 8-point Sting lead. A few substitutions coming up here for the Sting, maybe. They're up out of their seats on the bench. Maybe they're just excited over this big rally that the Sting have come up with here. Levy at the line. She's good. And it's 28-19 as Cheatham and Potts check in. And checking out will be Guthrie as well as Ditmar. 28-19, 9-point Sting lead. Tables have really turned here as Jayla puts up a shot. That's no good. Rebounded by Cheatham. Back come the Sting down the floor. Putting it up, no good. There for the rebound is Levy, and there was a foul, I do believe, before Levy put it back up. And so that will be Cohen, who has not scored yet today, but she has a chance to change that right here. Cohen at the line. No good on the first shot. As Kayla checks back in for All Ohio, and Kenna will rest. Second shot here for Cohen is no good. And that's rebounded by Demila. Pushing it up the floor is Jayla. Jayla going to be called for a double dribble as Ditmar checks back in for the Sting. And taking a rest will be Cohen. Inbounds it comes. That's Potts. Potts with Jayla on her. Potts. And that's a kick ball. That'll be a kick ball on All Ohio. So it will remain Sting ball. 28-19 with 6 minutes, 34 seconds left to play in the second half. Turning around is Cheatham. She had it blocked. Nice defense there by All Ohio. Back they come on offense. Molly into the paint. Molly had it stripped away from her. And they're going to say that it was off of Molly, and it comes back to the OB Sting. As Cohen gets set to check back in here, and will. And she'll be checking back in for Cheatham. Looks like there's going to be a press here by All Ohio. And the Sting are able to beat it. That is Cohen. Cohen. Bounce pass over to Levy. She'll attempt the shot, and she will not make the shot. And it's Kayla on the rebound. It's Molly up ahead with it. Molly. Taking it into the paint, putting it up. That's no good. And rebounded by the Sting. Potts on the left wing. Tied up by Molly. And the possession arrow favors All Ohio, so the white jerseys get it back here as Denia will check back in. And Demila will sit. Molly kicking it out to Simone. There's a three-point look for Jayla that doesn't fall. Jayla follows her own shot and bounces it over to Molly. Good offensive possession there by All Ohio. And that's a shot that will be waved off because they're going to say that before everything there was a foul. As Guthrie checks in for the Sting. And Hernandez will rotate out. Inbounding it is Molly. Into Jayla. Jayla on the drive. Jayla on the shot. Nice move by Jayla. Not able to finish. Down on the floor with it. It's going to be ruled Sting ball. Potts. With the drive and the shot, and it's good, and it is a double-digit lead for the Sting, 30-19. Under 5 minutes to go in the second half. Jayla with a shot. That doesn't fall for her. It's rebounded by it was rebounded by the Sting, but then she was tied up as Demila checks back in. So does Kenna. as the referee goes over to the scores table to see whose ball it is. And the possession arrow, I do believe he just mouthed the words black ball. So it will be the Sting on offense. Potts gives it off to Levy. Levy on the shot. Levy no good. There for the rebound. Putting it up and in there. That is Guthrie for two. 32-19. 13-point advantage for the Sting with 4:20 to play here in the second half. That's Jayla. Jayla at the foul line. Bounces it over to the low post. Passing it outside to Kenna. Kenna having it stripped away from her, and that's Jayla who's got it. Jayla off the pump fake. That's nice defense there on the part of Potts. She knocked it away. Blocked that shot by Jayla. And it will be Kenna to inbound. That's into Kayla. Kayla on the drive, and she had that ball kind of knocked out of her hands. They jarred it loose on the drive, and the Sting get it back, and on the drive, that shot is up, and that's no good. And that's rebounded by Demila. And then it's stolen back by Levy. On the three-point attempt, that won't fall. And that's rebounded by Jayla. Jayla passing it back outside to Molly. Back to Jayla on the left wing. Jayla on the drive, puts it up. That's no good, and that's going to go out of bounds, and that will be off of the Sting. I don't think they were quite ready for that. I think they kind of hit them before they could react to it. Substitutions on both sides here, so we'll wait for those to be made. And I will remind you after this one, we do have one more 7th grade game before we wrap it up for the day. The Ohio Venom versus the Northwest Hoop Stars Purple. In the low post, there's a shot that is up and in for Denia. That is the first bucket of the second half for All Ohio. They entered the second half with 19, and they just now broke that. They have 21 now. As Simone ties up the dribbler, but it is the Sting ball. Guthrie. Over to Levy. Levy. She'd looked a second earlier. She'd have seen the pick and roll was open for her, but she didn't. And a timeout is called by the Sting bench with 2 minutes, 40 seconds to play in the second half. The Sting have a 11-point advantage. It's 32-21. We'll be back here on GBA TV. Sting lead All Ohio 32-21. And turnover on the inbounds gives it back to All Ohio. They trail by 11. 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to play here in the second half. A lot of ground to make up, not a lot of time to do it. That's Jayla giving it off to Simone. Back up top to Molly. Underneath, that shot is up, and that is no good for Denia. And back come the Sting on offense. That is Levy with Simone on her. Bounce pass over to Knapp. Back to Levy. Gets a pick from Hernandez. And that's going to be a moving pick. They're going to get a moving pick on Hernandez. That's the third team foul on the Sting. And it comes with just under 2 minutes to play. 1 minute, 58 seconds left here in the second half. Molly playing the point. Onto the right wing. That is Jayla. Over to Simone. Simone in the paint. Back to Jayla on the right wing. She'll attempt a three, and she won't connect on that three. Molly there for the offensive rebound. Count the bucket and the foul. 32-23 with a chance to make it 32-24, depending on what Molly can do at the free throw line here. Molly at the foul line, hasn't been there today. This is her first trip. Puts up the shot, and it's good. So a 3-point play for All Ohio, 32-24. And it came at a time when they really need it because we are at about a minute and a half to go in this one. And they find themselves still in an 8-point hole. On the drive, that's no good for Levy. And what was the whistle for? Apparently a foul on All Ohio. That's the 15th foul on them. And it's almost stolen away by All Ohio as there's a big jump ball. Boy, I tell you what, these girls are trying to outmuscle one another, something fierce. And it is All Ohio ball. So, possession arrow favors the white jerseys. And we resume action under a minute and a half to play. 32-24. And that's going to be a foul. That'll be a foul on Levy. That's the 15th foul on the Sting. As Molly will take it out of bounds. And checking in for the Sting is Ditmar. And checking out, Cheatham. On the drive, that's no good. Taken back, put up, that's no good for Denia. And in the paint, Denia is fouled on the shot. So Denia will go to the free throw line and she will attempt a pair here. Denia at the foul line today is 3 of 7. First shot for her is good. Makes it a 32-25 game, a chance to make it a 2-possession game here potentially if she can convert on this foul shot. And as she is not able to do so. So 1 for 2 from the line, 32-25 is a score stolen away. That is Jayla. Jayla back out to Molly, 4-3. It's good! 32-28 the score. Timeout on the floor with just under a minute to play. 59.9 seconds left. We'll be back right here on GBA TV. Inbounds it comes as we get back to the action. And out of bounds it goes, and that will be Sting ball. Knocked out of bounds by Kenna. 58.3 seconds left. The Sting clinging to a 4-point advantage. Inbounds it comes to Ditmar. She puts it up. That's no good, and they're going to say that she was fouled on her way up. And so Ditmar, who is 0 of 2 from the line, will have a chance to add to the 2 points she does have right here. This game, if you're just joining us, has kind of been the story of 3 different chunks as Ditmar missed on the first foul shot. First, it was all Ohio. They jumped out to a double-digit advantage. Then the Sting came back. They had a double-digit advantage. And then in the late going here, it's been all Ohio once again as Ditmar converts on the second free throw to make it a 5-point lead for the Sting, 33-28. Over to Jayla. Jayla bounces it over to Kenna. Back to Jayla. Jayla for two. That's partially blocked. That is blocked. Blocked away. And then Potts kind of looked at her afterwards saying, you're going to have to work harder than that if you want that bucket. You talk about one intense game. Both teams have shown intensity in spades here. As that's rebounded by the Sting. And that'll be a foul. That'll be a foul on All Ohio. And I do believe that will be Simone who's called for the foul. And that's a shooting foul. This will be a 1-and-1 here for Levy. Levy, who is 1 of 1 from the line. She is able to connect on that. I thought that was going to rim out on her, but it went in. 34-28 the score. That's a big free throw. This is huge right here because this would make it a 3-possession game. Second shot for Levy. Does not fall. And out of bounds it goes. And it will be off of All Ohio, so Sting keep it. That's big. 16.1 seconds left. Sting, get it in. That's a shot. That's no good for Cohen. Putback opportunity. That doesn't fall. Outside it comes. That is to Potts. And it's out of bounds with 8.2 seconds left. All Ohio trails by 6. Molly on the drive. They're taking a lot of time here as Denia puts it up. That's no good, and that's how this ball game will end with the final. The OV Sting 34, All Ohio 28. What a ball game it was. We'll be back with one more before our day of coverage ends right here on GBA TV.